What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big Boy Talk. Man, listen, it has been a long week. Um, the struggles of what's going on with the Ravens amongst, other injuries and things in the NFL. And leading off with the shocking victory last night of the 49ers over the Rams. I mean, the league seems to be on its head. But before we get into that, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
Just kicking it.
Yeah, no, holding.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody here to see you, little nigga. Nobody is here to see. You see this?
Listen. He's made for the screen. All right, he's made for the big
He said.
screen.
He said, "Oh, we live. We live. Where my spot at?"
Yeah. He wondering where his dating profile is at. I'm sorry, I'm out of the business. I've officially retired from that business.
Go ahead. Go down.
He could get them all on his own. No, he pimping. I'm sure you didn't tell him a trick or two.
Something slight. Just ain't that many girl. Ain't that many. See in this neighborhood, which I fought them
Mm,
hand and tooth on. If you have a dog, it's got to be spayed or neutered.
mm.
I was like, nah, it ain't gonna work. So Yolanda,
Miss Yolanda in the building. How you doing? For those of you who are not subscribed, please go over subscribe to Miss Yolanda. Her and Hendo constantly dropping the fire lives. They do live game reactions, so you gotta go over there. It's a ball every time. Go enjoy that great content.
more of a hangout.
Oh, it is more of a hangout. Mr. Jose in the building, one half of LBHT, another fire
The
content
leader.
creator over there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, listen, I ain't commenting on that. B gonna yell at you. I'm gonna let B yell at you. Hey, Jose, I'm
We know
hoping
not to.
the Ghost of Yote is. I heard it's fire. I saw some clips on it. I'm gonna watch it until I can get a chance to play it. But I know you having the ball playing that. I still got to finish
Jose's a Taurus,
Tsushima.
right? Jose's a Taurus, natural born leader. That's what we do.
Listen, I have comments on that, but I'm not going. I'm not going to do it for one specific reason. You, my brother. Yeah, he said it's pretty dope. That's all I need to hear. As soon as that price come down, I'm gonna get it. As soon as that price come down, I'm gonna get it. But I
Yeah.
want to finish Ghost of Tsushima first. To be honest with you, once I finish that, then I'll move into Ghost of Yote. But it looks good though. It definitely looks good. I've been struggling lately with my gaming. Trying to play that. Still playing my WWE here and there. Definitely playing my college football. You know, kind of bouncing around. Chris is in the building. It was good, Chris. Um, well, I'm not sure if Kay will be here tonight because Jay will not be here tonight. So I'm not sure. But my missus is upstairs. She should be joining the chat at some point. I know she was getting ready upstairs. She had the little one with her. She's getting the little one set, and I think she was joining in.
You ain't congratulate her on winning coach's
She
monthly
did
giveaway?
win the sip to tally first month. For some reason, you never win. I'm just gonna point that out. You never win, but she did win first month, and she
First of
called
all,
her
okay.
shot.
It's been 2 or 3 times that I won that I did give it away.
I I I never seen it, y'all. He lying.
And then there's 2 that I did keep.
And the missus has arrived. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this game last night. 49ers and the Rams. And Mac Jones completely diced these dudes up with a masterful performance. And it just goes to show if you go to San Fran as a quarterback, doesn't matter who you are. they find a way to make you look good. Mac Jones, the that's crazy. I'm not even putting that up here. Mac Jones, the former Patriot, who
Jay here, so where K
everybody
at?
swore was a bum.
Get it, JK?
Yeah. What's good, Jay? Mr. J the Six is in the building. Um, hey man, be safe on your ride, brother. You can listen, but don't be chatting too much. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Family wants you home safe.
Right. He already put the pressure on us by not being here. Then he try and give K a reason to cuss us out.
Facts.
And the
So,
baby's in the car.
what are your thoughts, right? What are your thoughts on that game last night? I mean, I was completely shocked.
I mean, it just shows that your boy Jay Harvey ain't got no excuses at all whatsoever. I don't like. I mean, his excuse is ignorance, but that just shows when you have a coach that has a master on one side of the ball, because Harvey don't even have a master on special teams. He just was a special teams coordinator. Like you can't even say he was like a special teams guru who, Coach Dante Hall to return 5 touchdown kicks or something like that. Like, no, he didn't coach Devin Hester, Jacoby Jones.
Yeah,
He didn't coach nobody who actually did anything special teams wise. Hell, the last year his kicker was only 75% kicking field goals. So yeah, like I really I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Shanahan, QB whisperer, whole offensive playbook. He
for
can call
sure.
some plays that can call some plays. He got
For
plays
sure.
within the play.
Yeah, because that's
So
one of those teams that's they're just as injury devastated as we are. And to come out and not only did they win, and now they're what 3-1. Not only did they win, they won convincingly. They never, from what I can remember, they never gave up that lead. As a Rams fan, I know a couple of Rams fans. You've got to be pissed because this is supposed to be your division at this point. This is your time to dominate that division, and you just can't
man,
do it.
similarities, ain't they? The Rams is the NFC Ravens.
Crazy, crazy, right? Because this not only was our division supposed to be on lock this year, our conference was supposed to be on lock this year. It was supposed to run through Baltimore, and we keep bringing them up for before we get
Well, it was
into them.
supposed to run through Baltimore, but instead Baltimore getting ran through.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Shout out Shanahan for what he's doing with those 49ers. Big ups to him. It does show why he still has that job and that he is a great head coach. And you see that it clearly had nothing to do with Mike McDaniels, who's over in Miami, because he's not doing the same thing with Miami. And that offense ain't doing what that 49er offense is doing. So the Shanahan tree builds another coordinator who gets a head coaching job. But hey, Chris, get your girl. You see she in there repping the 49ers all of a sudden. She been back and forth. She don't know if she want to move to the 49ers or the Eagles. I feel so betrayed. That's your homie though. You gonna have to talk to her. That's your homie. But y'all see the headline. We might as well get into it because it's burning a hole in everybody's mind. 49ers are crippled. I mean, the Ravens are crippled, but are they done? Can they do what the 49ers are doing? Can they win no matter what talent is on the field? Um, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be able to. You're supposed to be able to if you're Baltimore. You took the time to build this roster the way you wanted it to your specifications. Every player that is here is a player you chose. whether it be free agency, draft, trade, whatever it is. You stacked all your money on one side of the ball and you said, "We got this." Over and over again, you said, "We got this." And immediately the missus says, not with that backup QB.
I want to know what's in honor of my sis. What is in honor?
I was gonna let it go. You just gotta let it go. Um, but
No, go lay down.
for the Ravens to move forward and be victorious and maybe make that comeback and end up in the playoffs, what do you feel needs to be done? And how can they flip the switch, so to speak?
I can't even dignify that with an answer.
Are you saying you don't think they can flip the switch at all?
I can't even believe you said all of that with such confidence that I was going to be able to create a way from no way. It's 2 days
Pun
before
intended.
it's his day. It's 2 days before it's his day. I might be him, but I ain't him.
Yeah. Salute Jared. If y'all not subscribed to Jared or 11 Green, please go check him out. Fire content. And he's lighting it up about 2-3 days a week now. Fire content. Check him out. So my heart still lies in Baltimore, right? So I want to believe that there's a way. But I also, because my heart is in Baltimore, I want there to be no way. And the reason why is because this is the key to changing it all. If they lose these next two games, it's the perfect time to make a change, right? But whether that change or not works is going to be the deciding factor of if we get John Harbaugh out of here. And I think even the people with the purple shades on are starting to see, hey, it's time for him to go. Miss K in the building. How you doing?
Don't you
You're
like how
not
they
burning
try
my
to
flag.
show you like how they try to show up separately and act like they wasn't together? Like them work couples.
Yeah, yeah. Track like they wasn't chilling, talking together, and everything else. Yeah,
Yeah, that
you're
seven
not
minute
you're not
gap
you're not burning my flag.
wouldn't split.
The missus trying to burn my Ravens flag if they lose. I can't allow that. I can't allow you to burn my flag. Um, and there's a reason for that. I still love my team, and there's if if at any point there's been hope for this team, it's now. The hope we've been waiting for is for John Harbaugh to go. So if John Harbaugh goes, that's the most hope we have at winning another championship. I don't know how many years in a row I got to say it. It's the only
The
chance we
stats
have
go
to
up
win another
immediately.
championship. Because as soon as he goes, and the missus believes he's not going, apparently. But soon as he goes, the sooner he goes, the sooner we win another Super Bowl. I don't know how many times it's got to be pointing out. Even it's even to the point where you got NFL analysts actually pointing out, like, hey, this dude hasn't won a Super Bowl since he had legends on his roster. Like that whole team, he got rid of half of that team the year after that Super Bowl and regretted it immediately. Immediately. But what do you tell a head coach when he's kind of surviving by my way or the highway.
You tell him your way ain't fucking worked yet, and your doghouse is about to get you in our doghouse and up out the house completely.
You know what the problem is, though? He's built a roster for the players that just stay quiet. There's a reason why we looked at this Ravens roster for so many years and was like, they ain't got no dog in them. They ain't got no fight in them. And the second we get a player that does have that fight in them, they end up going the next year, i.e., MP Juice Man. The second he stood up to John, got in John's face, he's like, "Now you got to go." This may be a situation where the head coach has too much power in the franchise. Like, does that sounds all too familiar, doesn't it? And if you look at history, that does not result in a good team, a championship team at all. When you give the coach full reins over everything, doesn't work out very well all the time. If we would have bolstered the old line / guard play in the past drafts and looked to premier pass rushers instead of projects like Owe and others, we wouldn't have issues. I am tired. You're absolutely right. But again, that's John Harbaugh and I'm going to say EDC as well. Looking at potential over, over tape. They're looking at the
Everything's a
combine.
ceiling player.
Yes.
He has a higher ceiling if we can get at him.
Exactly. And they're looking at guys as if they can, we can build them up. We can make them. No, you can't. Your head coach doesn't show a history of doing that.
I do want to say you read that as if you felt all of his pain. You said, I am tired.
Bro,
I'm about to get the poetry.
I do. I feel the pain, and I too am tired. It is stressful.
The dog came running like, what?
It is stressful.
Snatched.
Right? It is stressful. It is hard to come on here week after week, game after game, and see the same thing over and over again. You lose the same way, the same dumb mistakes. We got our defense doesn't know what to do. It's a repeat of last year. You got guys out of place. Nobody knows where to go. It's almost like they got players out there with nobody wearing the green dot at all. It reminds me of college football if you put all freshmen on the field, right? And they're all looking towards the sideline, trying to figure out what's next.
Yeah, last year we at least had good run defense. Now we ain't got no defense.
And boy, oh boy, did Matabike rip us off.
First of all, pause. And he's also homophobic, so Rodney would lose his goddamn mind.
I said he ripped us off.
No. You missed Chris's comment. Because remember, he didn't get fired when he was just saying the N-words.
Oh, man.
He got fired when when that LGBT got to him. That when he got fired.
Listen. All I know is something needs to happen. I feel like Ravens fans, like, okay, so if you look at Panthers fans, I feel like how they felt maybe the first few years of having a rough team. I feel like Ravens fans is already past that. We ready to give up. We ready to tap out. Because we're not used to this. Like, We're not, but we are. We've lived through the cow bowler days. And, oh, the
I just
cow
want to
bowler
say
days.
we went from living a change is gonna come to again living a change is gonna come. We got Lamar. We was like, yes, things are looking great. 2 years later, oh Lord, I'm born by the river now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how many more ways you can look at our situation and not understand that the coach is holding you back. And the main reason I say that is because he's had a number of different coordinators already.
I mean, it's obvious, but it's like Rashadi's still drunk or something, and he's still on the. Maybe John will figure it out this year. And I'd
Do you
rather
think
be
it's a
in
sense of
Jay's
pride?
situation. At least Jay's situation, they had a couple bad coaches, and now they just need the players. We've
Yeah,
had the players. We just have a terrible coach. And even if we have bad players, we keep the terrible coach. If we get good players, we keep the terrible coach.
yeah,
Jay can say it's 4 games in, this ain't our year. We 4 games in, we got Lamar, we still got a chance, and we see the chance go out the window in the last 2 games, and it's like, great. 15
great.
weeks of hope.
Well, you know what? It goes back to I think the first person to point it out to me was Hendo, maybe. I can't remember. It was either Hendo or LBHT. No quarterback head coach duo has won a Super Bowl together outside of their first 5 years.
I think that's a Hendo stat.
So I think so too. So outside of your first 5 years, teams have made a decision. No Super Bowl. We got to split up. That's it. So what do you do? After you're the Ravens, you would think you would see that and go, "Yeah, it's time to split up. Let's make a change here. Let's shake it up." Instead, they
Another
just
Hendo
kind of
stat.
go, "Eh,
Another Hendo stat. If you the Ravens, you still selling out every week because Lamar's there. You still got one of the top 5 jerseys year in and year out, no matter what. But Shotty making his money and staying competitive. We were competitive, it
facts,
just didn't work out. All right, whatever.
facts." Do you think
We
it's a
have a sub
pride thing
500
for him too,
season.
though?
No, for Brashadi, he's making money.
Yeah, but do you think it's a pride thing in the sense of I did just give this man a contract extension and
He
I
did that
still
to Brian
hired
Billick
him?
the year he fired Brian Billick. He did the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. He gave that man an extension. Then, like a couple months later, it was like, yeah, nah, you cook. I'm all set. He was
Like,
like, you
nah,
cook.
that
All
was
set.
just a severance pay for winning that Super Bowl. Thank you.
Yeah, he was like, you cooked. I'm all set. So I guess that answers my question from your standpoint. Do you think the Ravens are done, or do you think they can turn it around? Because again, you get say we go into that break 1-5. We can come out the other side of the break. If we come out the other side of the break healthy and we win all those games, we're back in the playoffs. But can we win all those games is the question.
Even if we won all those games, we would be at the point of this person needs to win, this person needs to lose, this person needs to lose, this person needs to win. And quite honestly, Harbaugh still has to fuck up 1 or 2 of those games, no matter how great Lamar plays. So no, because if you're 1-5, you got 11 games left.
Yeah.
Harbaugh can't not Harbaugh for more than 5 games at a time.
I mean, say you go 12-6. You got a chance.
You have You go 12-6. You don't have any home field advantage, and Harbaugh goes out in the first round again.
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna have home field advantage anyway, unless the Steelers falter. But them boys are playing ball right now.
And Don Royale.
Welcome in. Do us a favor, hit that like button, join in the conversation. Let's have a good time. Harbaugh colluded in the NFL against Lamar Jackson winning the Super Bowl. And you know what? I agree. I agree 100%. Because there's no way you get a phenomenal talent like Lamar Jackson and not win the Super Bowl, especially the way we've been losing them, right? You can count up 3 years straight going for 2-point conversions. He calls the same exact play, and it fails 3 years straight. That's not a coincidence at all. He goes away from our game plan, and then all he has to do is turn around and blame the coordinators.
He ain't gonna blame the coordinator. He's gonna say he called our best play.
Yes, sir. Listen, Harbaugh is all about, at this point, there's a reason why he said he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. Because if you rebuild the team and you rebuild the staff once again, but you just start fresh, he gets exposed for how bad of a coach he is. Just like he did in 2013, 2014, 2015, he will be exposed over and over and over again. For you to have a job this long and only have one Super Bowl appearance, and yes, it was a Super Bowl win, but that's a long way. You might as well be Jeff Fisher. Remember how long Jeff Fisher had jobs, especially with Tennessee, for one Super Bowl appearance?
Right, but they're gonna say they're gonna give him the Michael Jordan joint. He only went 5 times, where he won all 5. Harbaugh went once, he won one. Let's not worry about the years that he didn't go.
Oh yeah, we all know. We all remember the contract situation. It's a sore spot for everybody because first and foremost, everybody knew what was going on from the word go. Because every analyst pointed out, wait. Y'all got a shot at Lamar Jackson, and you don't want him?
For one first this year and one first the next year.
Yeah. And it wasn't about money. I mean, it was about money, but it was about guaranteed money. Right? It was about keeping us in our place, so to speak. You can't come out here and make those demands and think it's gonna be okay, especially without having to pay an agent. That's what that was about.
Because you think about it, you might maybe you got number 12 as your first round pick this year, and that's cool. But you know your next pick is going to be in the 20s, the late 20s, if Lamar Jackson's your QB. So you trade one good pick, you get Lamar Jackson. Your second pick is going to be the end of the first round.
Exactly. And here's the crazy thing, right? I agree on the injury aspect. I think we all know John Harbaugh has been exposed for his bad coaching and bad play calling. On the injury aspect this year, I was in a live stream and I called out. I was like, watch the injuries, watch players start dropping like flies now. I specifically called that out before it happened. All of a sudden, guy after guy after guy after guy drops out of that game. There's a reason for that, right? You're getting embarrassed in that game, and not embarrassed by the fact that they're beating y'all, right? You're getting embarrassed at the fact that nobody knows what they're doing. You look out of sorts. You look like a high school team just tried to step on a professional field, and it was embarrassing on both sides of the ball.
Well, you got to remember,
multiple offensive penalties for delay of game because guys couldn't get lined up. Defense not knowing where to line up. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, you got to remember, whenever it's an up tempo and something's going wrong and we don't have enough time and we don't want to waste the time out, Marlo will be the first one. Marlo will be over here. Oh, train staff coming? All right, let me sit up real quick. Hey, look, man, they out here kicking our ass. Tell them, send a new D line in and apply pressure. Let me get my one play off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
You know
Marlo
what?
do. And he did it
You
very
know
well
what?
versus the Chiefs.
Hey Don, I wouldn't even say if he was a different skin color, he'd have a great offensive line. If he had a different head coach, he'd have a great offensive line. Every other team, every other top team who has a smart head coach builds their line and builds their offense around their quarterback and then stacks the defense. Look at Philly. Philly built around Hurts to the point where people look at Hurts and say he's just a game manager because of the way they built that offensive line around him. Then they gave him all the weapons he could have at running back, receiver, tight end, and he's got weapons everywhere. That offensive line is one of the top offensive lines in the league. And you know what? He's well protected. He's winning Super Bowls. And then they
And you know
drafted
what?
that defense.
And
Phenomenally
you know what?
drafted that defense.
Philly fans swear that their coach is as dumb as Harbaugh. They just have a better team.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Because they don't see these other teams don't see how bad Harbaugh really is. I think it's only a few teams that know how he's a bad coach. That would be the Bills and the Chiefs because they outcoach him every time they play. No alpha males. He got rid of all of them in 2012. After we won the Super Bowl, they all had to go. Every last one of them. The only one that stuck around was the only one that agreed not to step into his face, and that was Terrell Suggs. Terrell Suggs, I'll step aside and let you do what you want to do. Because he watched him get rid of Ed Reed. He watched him celebrate Ray Lewis's retirement. He watched him get rid of Bernard Pollard. He watched him destroy this team, Anquan Bolden, trade away Anquan Bolden. And Terrell Suggs, I'll fall in line because I don't want to be the next one out. I want to finish my career as a Raven. And he still ended up somehow playing for another team at the back end of his career because of John Harbaugh. So how can we sit here and look at John and say, he's a great head coach? We can't. He was carried to his only Super Bowl by legends. Legends. And he hasn't been back since. It took him 12 years to win a playoff game. Like 12 years to win one playoff game.
Don
It's
talking like
crazy.
he done been here for a while because these are all the same things we say. Harbaugh
Yeah,
got
Don's
lucky.
speaking exactly what we've been speaking for years. John Harbaugh was carried to a Super Bowl in 2012. Carried. He got
They literally
lucky.
tied him up. They tied him to a stick and just carried him through on their way.
You could have selected anybody to be the head coach of that team, and you were winning a Super Bowl, especially after Ray Lewis gave that speech that this was going to be his last year. There was no stopping us. Fate was on our side. There was nothing to get in our way that year. Nothing. And that 1 year, and then let's go back to 2018.
He didn't even get to pick his coordinator. Remember, Kubiak
Yeah.
didn't Kubiak get fired, and then they hired Jim Caldwell.
Yep.
John didn't have no say. John didn't have no say in nothing that year.
It was what's his name? It wasn't Kubiak. It was
yeah, Caldwell. Jim Caldwell's who they hired.
Caldwell got hired, but it wasn't Kubiak that got fired. It was the
right.
other dude that used to be the coach of the Bears. I forget his name.
Not Tressman.
He was it was either Tressman or the other dude. He was also a coach of the Bears.
I remember Tressman, but I didn't know he was offensive coordinator.
I forgot his name, but he was another Harbaugh family friend. And they ran. He was doing so bad, and they ran him out the door. And they were like,
See, Don knows what I'm talking about.
Cam Cameron. That's who it was. Cam Cameron.
Jim's the better coach.
It was Cam Cameron.
Jim is the better Harbaugh. He just ain't had
Jim
the Ravens
Harbaugh is
behind
the
him.
better coach. His brother has a leg on him when they play each other, but he's the better. Yes, he's the better coach.
You ain't admit that 2 weeks ago.
I have to. I have to now, right? Because Jim Harbaugh's out here winning games. Well, at the end of the day, Jim Harbaugh's out here winning games. John isn't.
You
It's
know
different
what?
if John owns him head to head, but coaching against the rest of the league, guess what the Chargers did this year? They beat the Chiefs. We didn't do that.
But John also has the Ravens backing him every time they go head to head.
This is true. But look at the Ravens this year. That means nothing. It
I
means
think this year be
absolutely
different.
nothing. And I want to point
This
us
year
back
be
out to
different.
2018. You remember 2018? We draft Lamar. We sit him on the bench. We say Joe Flacco's our guy. He's going to lead us to the playoffs and all this other stuff, right? That's the speech they give. Joe Flacco gets hurt. We have a losing season at this point. John Harbaugh's on the hot seat. Bisciotti comes out and says that John's on the hot seat. Insert Lamar Jackson because of Joe getting hurt. Lamar rips off 6 straight wins. We end up with a winning season and making the playoffs, losing in the first round. The one coaching thing he did correct was not benching Lamar in that game because they finally said, "Okay, Lamar, play what you want to play. Run what you want to play." And he started to rip the Chargers up in that second half of that game. But yes, we lost. It was too late. It was too late. They made the change too late.
Well,
So
Don Harbaugh didn't even know anything about Monken. Harbaugh has said publicly, "Oh, my sister told me that he was a good coach."
yes. Yes, Harbaugh came out and said, I don't know if you know that, Don. John Harbaugh actually came out of his own mouth and said that he didn't even watch Todd Monken's tape before hiring him. His sister told him that Todd Monken was a very good coach and a very good guy, and he should get the job. And so he hired him. And then he proceeded to check in on what he likes to do after giving the man the job. So Todd Monken can go too. And the way I see it, anybody that has any relation to the Harbaughs can go. And you bring in somebody new with a new staff and you start fresh. But to go back to that 2018 season, Harbaugh in the offseason, after they had the interview with everybody, Bisciotti actually said, we had talked to Harbaugh and we told him if things didn't turn around, he was going to be let go. And things turned around. And that got him his first extension. So that goes to show that Lamar
I thought that was his second
saved
extension.
Harbaugh. No, I believe that was his first because his contract was no, it was his second. It was his second. But that goes to show though, Lamar saved that man's job. Lamar Jackson saved John Harbaugh's job.
Now y'all offer him as a sacrifice.
Yep. And you couldn't even fight for him. You threw him under the bus when he was working out his contract. You didn't even fight for him.
And yeah, we say
we all
they should have fired.
Every Ravens fan wanted Mike McDonald. Yes. Everybody, I thought for sure that's what they were going to do. You couldn't tell me they wasn't going to hire Mike McDonald and get rid of John Harbaugh and pass the torch right there. But nope. Nope. And now you look at Mike, he's having some success over in Seattle, and we're licking our boots. It's tough to be a fan of this team right now. And
the head coach can't even find can't even pick a good coordinator.
Yeah. It's hard to have any hope in the rest of the league and the rest of the season because you know where y'all stand. And we all know Bisciotti's not one that's going to want to change a head coach in the middle of the season because he knows, you got to reset if you do that. You got to change the system. You're bringing in a whole new coaching staff, and you're saying bye to that season. And you know what? He's already seeing that people aren't coming to games. People are starting to not come to games. Ticket sales are down, or everything's starting to fade. So he's
But that's what
probably
gets his
feeling like,
attention, though.
yes, it does. But he's probably feeling like if I make a change now, we're guaranteed to do worse. So I'm gonna lose a lot of money. So if I can hold out to the end of the season, maybe they can turn it around. And I can hold out to the end of the season, and then we'll make that swap. He has hope. I'm telling you, I guarantee Harbaugh's talking to these dudes, and he has them having hope that something can change, even though we know it can't, and it won't. Like I said, we can go on a run. People get healthy, come on after the bye. You go on a nice run. Next thing you know, we're singing a different tune. We're on our way to the playoffs. But I don't see us winning the Super Bowl. Not with these coaches in place. And then you're not really helping out Zach Orr. You want to help out Zach Orr? Downgrade his position and get a good defensive coordinator in there. Chuck, let me just say this. They got Chuck Pagano back there to help. They got Dean Pease to help. Chuck Pagano was a way better defensive coordinator than Dean Pease. Get rid of Dean Pease because we're bending and breaking. So his style isn't working. Let Chuck Pagano call it because Chuck Pagano knows when to blitz. He knows when not to blitz. He's a good defensive coordinator. He wasn't a good head coach, but he was a good defensive coordinator. If you want him to run the defense, then let him run the defense. But you got to make a change to change something. 77's got to sit down. I get it. He was at your brother's as a kid. He was at your brother's coaching clinic for all the young kids. So
Trade him for a fourth
followed him
or an
since then.
eighth. Trade him for a compensatory pick.
Listen, I don't know if they're going to trade him because they truly believe in him, but he's got to get sat down. They got to see something. And Don, don't let Coach Evans hear you say that statement because it hurts him every time. It hurts all of us. We want. I remember being in the live stream. We were all like, "Oh, get George Pickens," and they picked
They said
Ojabo, and
Ojabo,
I
and
said,
everybody just
"What? What?" Our our propensity for drafting injured players is crazy. I'm almost positive the Ravens draft more injured players than anybody else in the league. And I'm talking about guys that were injured before the draft. Ojabo, Voorhees, Emory Jones. I mean, the list goes on and on. We C-Mac, um, it's so many of them. We draft guys constantly that are hurt prior to the draft. And it's like, let that be somebody else's problem. We have holes we need to fill now. And you're spending a second round draft pick on a guy with a torn ACL. Tell me why. Tell
about
me
the
why.
future.
Hey, he should have 30 carries. How much you want to bet he won't? He won't.
What's
And I'm
what's
gonna
the
tell you why.
over under on 17?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna say under 17, and I'm gonna tell you why. They're using Justice
Justice.
Hill a lot, and that's my guy. I love Justice, but I think they realize our O line can't block long enough for Derek to get going.
So they just
So
hoping
they're
for
trying.
quick burst speed.
Yes. So they're going for speed to try to get a quick shot while you got your millisecond block out of 77 and out of Voorhees. Because Justice, the one
While the
thing Justice
shadow's
can
in the
bring to you
way
is,
of the defender.
yeah, exactly. Justice can sneak through a hole really quick and pick up 5 yards. Whereas Henry, 6'4", 250, you see him coming.
But
And
you,
all
you
they
know what's
do
the
is dive
craziest
at his
part?
way.
The craziest part is they pulled a stat. The second fastest person to the line of scrimmage is Derrick Henry. I
I,
think only Saquon's faster.
I believe it because his strides. Look at the size of that man. His strides is crazy.
Pause.
Pause. But you know what the Texans do well? Rush the passer. The
Shoot
Texans got
gaps.
pass rushers. The Texans got pass rushers and they got corners. Right? Stingley is a beast.
But the Texans just have to do what the Bills did. The Bills are not a good run defense either. But against our offensive line, they shoot the gaps because our linemen are too big, too slow, and still somehow too weak.
Well, that's one of them.
How do you get all three? Too big, too slow, and too weak.
Ask Falele. Ask Flop Lele. I call him Flop Lele. Because all he do is flop
Like he
around like
should
a
be able to
fish.
fall on somebody by now.
No, he don't hit. Here's one thing, right? He either flops around on the ground like a fish because he got bulldozed, or he becomes like you said, the airbender, right? Where he's blocking air. He's blocking Casper. And he's doing a good job of blocking Casper. Problem is, the 6'5", 6'4", 300-pound guy ran right past him. Falele is the slowest guy in the league. By far, and it's not even a question. So he's down there against these D tackles that's outrunning them. And everybody else, and he's not blocking a dang thing. I've never seen anybody be 6'8", 6'9", damn near 400 pounds for absolutely no reason and actually make it to the NFL. It blows my mind. Like I'm stupefied. Like how? How did he even make it this far?
He's a good actor.
I mean, I guess he's got that down pat.
Something.
You see when he blows a block, he just goes, "Look out!" He's just smacking the air. He's mastered the lookout block. I'll tell you that.
You remember that offensive line coach? I forgot what team it was. They were like a Division 1A or 1AA team. And whenever a defensive lineman would come across the line, the offensive linemen were supposed to just hold their stance. Like it was like to prove that they didn't jump. And there was one play. The QB was running around for a good 8-9 seconds. And this offensive lineman is still like holding his stance. Like the whole entire play. Like clearly everybody has moved. The refs have let the play go on. And he's just still sitting there in his stance, unmoved like a statue. So when the ref finally blows the whistle on the play, then he stands up and just walks to the huddle like ain't nothing happened. Everybody was like, I know that QB done cussed his ass out.
Listen,
That's Falele.
I don't even know if that's Falele. It's got to be worse.
Falele might as well just not move. At least let Lamar set up the pick and roll. Because Lamar will be lining somebody up to run to Falele, and then he'll step to the left. And Lamar will be like, bro, what the?
Bruh. Well, listen, I mean, it gets better, right? No, it gets worse because our best offensive lineman, Linderbaum,
Calls
just
the
forced a
fumble.
fumble from Lamar. And Lamar's looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Hey, well, offensive linemen see a QB about to take off, and they take those top steps like they still run blocking or something.
Yes.
It's like, boy, if you don't get those feet moving, you are not, especially if Lamar's behind you. As soon as he takes off the run, you just sprint full speed because he's going to catch up to you in half a second.
Here's my thing. Lamar's running he's cutting to his right. Why would you cut across his body left to try to throw a block that doesn't matter? That cat wasn't
Nobody's
Lamar.
getting there.
He had no chance to get into Lamar.
Oh yeah,
but
he's going to run him down. Ooh. Lamar can't even run Lamar down.
I don't know, man. It's frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. For those of you real quick that love college football, West Virginia is lined up to take on BYU right now. BYU 4-0, ranked number 23. This might be a more interesting game than we think.
I
West
got
Virginia.
WVU handling business.
You think West Virginia can beat BYU? Interesting. I do
I think
like
they
their
can get
quarterback.
lucky.
He can move. He's fearless,
You can
but
pull up
I
Pat
don't
White
think
out the hat.
Pat White used to be that dude. If Pat White would have came in the NFL at the right time, he would have been a pretty good quarterback. That's when I used to watch West Virginia when Pat White was there.
You
Past
ever see
that,
that clip?
I ain't watching too much.
You ever see that clip where Lamar was playing pranks on people in practice and nobody would chase him because they just knew they couldn't catch him?
Nah.
Bruh, that shit was hilarious. I don't know if he was throwing gack or something. He was throwing, I think it was like the Nickelodeon stuff. It was some company there that had him throwing like like some colored paint or something like that, or just like the Nickelodeon splat stuff at people. If people look and see what's Lamar, just like, man, I ain't even chasing his ass. I think somebody gave like half an effort and they were like, you can't catch him. So like, there's nothing you can do. You just have to accept
let
that.
it go. You just gotta forgive him at that point.
Right, like you're gonna try, and he's gonna do like this and start
Speaking,
running. You're like, "Oh crap!"
speaking of Lamar and his speed, right? A lot of people have pointed out that he doesn't look as explosive or as quick this year, and I want to point out that's because in the preseason, actually, in training camp, Big 77 stepped on my man's ankle, and I guarantee he ain't been right since. I guarantee Lamar has not been right since that happened. And now he's stuck dealing with an injury, and now he gets hurt again. Because if you remember week 2, I think it was,
His hand.
probably got bench pressed and got Lamar hurt again. So there's a kind of overwhelming thing we're seeing here that's full of negatives.
Lele is injure your QB.
Yeah, your brand new Bentley parked outside your Rolls Royce, your
Driving to a
Ferrari.
construction zone.
Yeah, you got that. You got that thing parked next to a dump truck. Like it's something ain't right. Something ain't right. And again, I point out you're the only team, probably aside from the Chiefs, and I can't even not the Chiefs, sorry, probably aside from the Bengals, and I can't even fully say the Bengals because the Bengals attempted to fix their offensive line. They went out and got guys that they thought was going to help, and they just didn't help. They went out and got Orlando Brown Jr. amongst other players. The O-line just didn't get any better. But they tried. You know what I mean? They tried through free agency and veterans who had a good history. They just didn't work out. Not to mention they gave him the weapons. And then proceeded to say, we'll sacrifice everything. We'll pay our quarterback, both our wide receivers, and still try to fix this offensive line to keep them guys happy and together, to keep our quarterback happy and keep those guys together. They were willing to sacrifice their top defensive player and still somehow signed him. But you know what the Ravens did? The Ravens said, so you signed T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? Okay, we got something for you. Yo, Kyle Hamilton, come get this $100 million, bro.
You gonna cover both of them?
Matabike, come get this $90 million, Matabike. Hey, Ro.
They already paid Ro. They already paid Ro.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is they said to Ro, we got you. We got your teammates settled. Rather than going to Lamar and saying, Lamar, we got you, bro. We're going to get you this, and this. They went to Ro and said, yo, Ro, we got you settled, bro. We got you everything you need for this defense. We drafted you another young safety. We drafted you a young corner. Y'all
All right,
stacked.
you just gotta hold it down, man.
Now, just so you know, just to work out this contract with Kyle, we bypassed on picking up Linderbaum's 5th year his his option. We picked up Kyle's option instead of Linderbaum's. But it's okay. If he don't sign, we'll just put my nephew in there. Don't worry about it.
His nephew though.
His nephew. He gonna throw his nephew in that center.
Well, the
That
way
might be
this
center
offensive
for
line
defense
look,
at Harbaugh next year.
you basically say he just sacrificed his nephew because the way this offensive line look, you're just gonna be death and destruction on that end.
He don't care. He don't care about this team. He don't care about Lamar Jackson.
He don't care about his nephew either.
No, he don't. He care about keeping his
Because his
job. He
nephew
said,
finally gonna fall on that poor boy one time. It's gonna be a wrap.
you know what? He gonna get workman's comp. He gonna get paid. He gonna be good. He's like, see,
Man
nephew, I
said,
got you.
"What?
Now you
That's
got all
wrong."
this money. He said, nephew, that leg gonna heal. But now you got this paper.
Well, don't you gotta
I
make it 3
believe
years to get
Baltimore is
that?
serious when 77 sits and Christian Wilkins. Listen, I don't know about Christian Wilkins, but with 77 sits down, I'll give him a chance. But Christian Wilkins, I don't know, man. He like to diddle with people's diddle. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we need
He
that on
made
this team right now.
he made Diddy look like a rookie.
Yeah, we don't need nobody grabbing that people's sack at the bottom of the pile. But welcome in. I don't think I've seen you in before since you ain't hit that like button. Join us and have a good time with us. Enjoy the conversation. Let us know how you feel about these Ravens, because we are hurt. We're in tears. Okay, our boys is down. Lamar's being sacrificed to the Wolves. We don't like where it's going. Our personal thought: Harbaugh needs to go. But Wilkins, he's a whole nother problem. I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it. And I don't know if he'll join another team in the league at all. Because when you get kicked off a team for sexual harassment, that's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
harassment, okay?
I'm just saying. I agree. He probably can help, especially with the number of injuries we got right now on the D line. Injuries we got on the D line. He can be a
See, right
help.
now for
He can be a
like
help,
for us,
but his
anything
antics
helps
would
for us
have
right
to
now.
stop. Like the second you catch him doing something, you gotta have it in his contract. Like the second we catch you doing anything, you're done in this league.
It can't even be like you got to pay the money back. It's like if we catch you doing this, you owe us 10 million.
Yeah, like it's because some of the stuff he did is just egregious. Like aside from him, kissing a dude against his will in the locker room, which got you kicked off the team, being in huddles and grabbing at people and doing all that, it's just outright disrespectful. And one of these dudes gonna end up going crazy on one day. Drake Jackson. Listen, is that that's the kid that was in Tampa Bay, ain't it? That got cut by Tampa Bay from I think that's the kid from Florida.
The dude who lost all the weight.
Yeah. I think that's the kid from
That's what we
Florida. That
we
was
need somebody
a
to
big.
just keep
He
the
was a
power,
400.
stop the
He's a
power from
four or five
moving
hundred
at this
pound
point.
nose tackle. He's from San Francisco. Okay, I thought that was the kid from Florida that played for Tampa Bay and got cut because he was overweight. We need some help along that line, and I think it starts with not just the line help. We need a new coordinator. I love Zach Orr. I love Zach Orr to death, and I even you'll find that I said on the stream a while back. He's such a good players coach. Like the players love him. That he would be a good motivating head coach. right? Or really good at staying that as a linebacker coach, but being a coordinator, he's not ready. Um, he could be the next kind of John Harbaugh, right? Where you could put him to lead the team, but if you give him a great coordinator on both sides of the ball, he'll look like a really good head coach. But he's just not ready. He hasn't had the time, the experience, and it's not his fault, man. He got thrown into the Lions den when he wasn't ready. Nothing about Zach
They should
Taylor
have picked
said
a
he was ready.
Weaver. They wanted to be. We have the youngest defensive coordinator in the NFL, and he's homegrown. Weaver was ready.
Yeah, Anthony Weaver should have been our defensive coordinator, hands down.
It's crazy how
But if you,
somebody else got the second choice and they made the right one.
yeah, I mean, again, if our defensive staff was torn apart after Mike McDonald,
I feel you, but how
but
did
to
our defensive
think
staff get torn apart and we got the scraps?
Robert Saleh is one of my picks. I wanted him. I wanted him to come here. Bad. I wanted him in Baltimore so bad. I wanted him in Baltimore so bad. Yeah, he's in a lose-lose situation. Um, he's he's not comfortable with the defensive scheme, and I'll tell you why. I'm gonna give you a heads up. I don't know if you ever heard this, but John Harbaugh said a few years ago that no matter who the coaches are, offensive or defensive, they come in and they just run a form of his scheme. So he said there's not much that changes other than maybe some of the language here and there, and one or two pieces may move around. But he says it's the same scheme every time. Also, if you go back and watch tape on our games, you'll see that another thing that was said was it was once said by Greg Roman, and I believe I caught Harbaugh slipping and saying it one game. They don't plan for the opponent. They make up they make up a game plan off their own scheme, and they see what they feel they're running the strongest in their scheme, and then they go out and they do that. But they do not game plan for the opponent, which is why 9 times out of 10 we get in these games and we start laughing. I mean, we start playing slow, right? We start off slow because they're struggling to find their way because they're not playing for the opponent. They're playing for themselves. And that's why John Harbaugh in every press conference says, well, the players, they just have to execute. We went out there, we knew what we were going to do, but the players just have to execute. That's always his excuse. And that's why.
My plan would have worked if it wasn't for them pesky kids.
And Mike McDonald works with a Todd Monken because Mike McDonald's going to step in and say, hey, don't do that. Only time John Harbaugh steps in is when he wants his play called. When he says, hey, I want to run this for this down. And it's to see him, and supposedly Jeff Zebrik said today that John Harbaugh said that Todd Monken said that him and Harbaugh had a talk about what John Harbaugh was going to say about him before that press conference. So he knew John was going to throw him under the bus. So John probably came to him and said, listen, the heat's on me right now. I'm going to have to, throw you under the bus so I don't take the fall for this. But John's good at that.
Well,
Right?
John's
John's a
like, I'm
politician.
gonna keep my job, and if I don't keep my job, I'm gonna make sure you with me at the next place I go.
Well, that's exactly what it was, right? If he's like, John's like, if I go, you guys got to go too. So you guys are gonna have to eat the heat on this, and I'm gonna keep you around, and then we're gonna turn this around together. That's what he's telling them. That's what he's because he's a
Well,
politician,
I mean,
right?
he probably told him, hey, even if I get fired, my next job, I'm gonna hire you anyway.
Yeah, yeah, of course. He's a friend of the family. Wherever I go, you go. He's a friend of the family. Why do you think Greg Roman is out there with Jim Harbaugh? Once you're a friend of the family, you're in there forever. There's a reason why Greg
Friend
Roman
to,
was here in Baltimore. He was in San Francisco, and now he's out there with the Chargers.
friend to the end, like Chucky.
And you know what? I agree with that 1,000%. But you know what, Lamar, this is where the problem lies, right? one of the main reasons we love Lamar is his biggest detriment. He's too nice of a guy. We love him because how humble he is, how nice he is, how awesome he is as a person, and that's gonna stop him from doing that. Just like that'll be the thing that stops him from standing up to John in the middle of a game, or from going up to Bashadi or EDC and saying this guy's got to go. And you know what? I so I think B partially agrees with me on this, but as much as I lay blame on EDC, some of that blame is also on Hardball because he goes out there. He said in conferences before, I go out there and I get the guys he wants me to get. So he's EDC is basically like he's like, hey, John wants this guy, so I'm gonna go get him. So can we like how much of that can we blame on EDC? Maybe, and I still give him a good share of blame because it's your job as the GM to say, hey John, I'm not sure about this guy. I'm gonna go a different way. It's up to you to do that. That's what he did with drafting with drafted Bateman. EDC, that was an EDC pick. Or was it Hollywood? It was Hollywood. Hollywood. They weren't going to pick Hollywood. That was an EDC pick. EDC said, "No, I like this kid. I want him here." So, and I think you know what Bateman was too. Bateman was an EDC pick too. So when you look
Well,
at it,
I think the way the Ravens work, he probably had to say, "Hey, here's what I want to do," and make a whole case about it, so that he could pick him without it being backlash. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming, right? I think John Harbaugh gets the last call on which players he gets to coach. He wants to coach. So I think they run every player by him. Um, as far as Bashadi goes, Mr. Biscuits, I
it's
like to
always
call
on
him.
him. Yeah, it's always on him because his ass could
It's always
fire
going.
anybody at any time, and he don't.
Yep, because the money keeps
And if
rolling in.
anything, he's probably saved Jim. I mean, saved Harbaugh's job because guess what? Any coach's contract is fully guaranteed. So if EDC fires John, he still got to pay that money. And guess what? Bashadi's real cheap when he want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, it's on him to turn around and see that the team's failing, but he's not going to notice until he starts feeling a dent in his pocket. And you got to realize he's also looking, according to rumors, he's looking to sell the team. So if he's really looking to sell the team, then he's
He ain't
not too
worried.
worried about how they looking. And we talked about this earlier. Well, first off, to respond to the comp pick thing, I agree. Don't worry about comp picks. Sign the players we need. Go get the guys you need for your team to make them better. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. That's clear cut. Want to make your team better? Make your team better.
I think the comp pick
John
thing is
Harbaugh.
something is a Harbaugh thing. I think that's what that really is because Harbaugh talks about it so much. You hardly hear EDC say anything about comp picks. It's always Harbaugh. It's like, yeah, because XYZ and we don't want to lose the comp pick if we take this player. And EDC showed, hey, I will go out there and I will get a player.
Yeah, you know what? And he has shown that he's made some great trades since he's been here. Or since he's taken over, I should say. EDC has, but eh, John John's put us in a position where after he got carried to that Super Bowl back in 2012, he got rid of Ed Reed. He let Ray Lewis retire, which is fine. It was the end of his career. Ray Lewis was ready to go. So Ray Lewis retires. You proceed to get rid of Ed Reed, um, Bernard Pollard, Anquan Bolden. You got rid of actually they tore that whole wide receiver room apart. If I'm not mistaken. Jacoby Jones was going after that too.
Did he get rid of Tory also?
Yep, Torrey ended up in Philly. So you tore the whole receiver room apart.
Pretty much, Harbaugh got to go. He should have been gone.
So you were already ready to change that team and take over. Give me give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Um and Jimmy Smith. Yep, Jimmy Smith was another one that had to go. Anybody that would step to Harbaugh had to get the boot. And Mr. Ghost, you can continue this for me. I gotta go do something real quick. 2 seconds. I just heard a noise over by my door. I want to go take care of it.
Go invest the choir.
Yes.
It might be Harbaugh coming to hate on you. You know, he be hearing what's going on in these streets. That's why he be talking about us people at the end of the bar and stay salty and all these little punk ass t-shirts. But either way, like my boy Don said earlier, I felt like they should have let Harbaugh go and hired Mike McDonald, or they should have done exactly with Mike McDonald that they did with EDC. We will pay you an extra high salary compared to what your position is to be here so that when we do let Harbs go or he does move on, you can just slide right in, take over, everything's gravy. If you're getting paid head coach money to be an assistant coach with a caveat that we're going to promote you from within once you get the position, which that is the only way to circumvent the Rooney Rule. If somebody is already on the staff, you can hire them without going through the whole Rooney Rule thing. So why wouldn't you do that? You could promise this man that position. You have the hottest defensive coordinator currently in the NFL, and you let him walk away for some old coach whose message is getting stale, who doesn't seem to understand how things work now. Harbaugh wants to run his shit like they used to do in college when Nick Saban was a top coach. You gonna come here as a 5-star recruit, and I'm gonna sit your ass because there ain't no transfer portal. So where the hell do you think you're going? And I believe some coaches had to actually sign off on your transfer. That's why Cam Newton went to community college, because he knew if he tried to go to another big school, I think it was it Urban Meyer?
I don't remember.
The coach at Florida, he said if he knew if he tried to transfer to Alabama or straight to Auburn, the coach at Florida would not have signed off on that. He would have made him stay there. So he transferred to a community college for a year just so that he could then transfer to whatever college he wanted to.
And Dwayne says yes, it was Urban Meyer. So yeah, it just goes to show he has a certain mentality where he wants everything to run through him, and it's bad. It's been a detriment to the team because it's not allowing our guys to do that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sneezing. But it's not allowing our guys to go out there and be like. You notice our team seems less passionate on the field. Rowe had one game this year where he was an absolute monster, and it was against the Browns after he had time with Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis gave a nice speech to the team. And he went out there and he played ball, and that defense played ball. And Joe Flacco gave them the ball. So, was it the defense stepped up, or was it just, hey, it's the Browns' offense with Joe Flacco? You know what I mean? Joe
It's a mix
Flacco
of both
probably.
because we've seen bad QBs try to give us the game and we still wouldn't take it.
This is true. We have seen bad QBs trying to hit us the game. We refuse to take it. I don't know why, man. Eh, when you build a team that can't stand up to the guy, the lead guy, you can't expect changes.
Hey,
And Marlon,
our team was the gay guy at the titty bar.
oh gosh, I would. Oh man, oh man.
I waited 75 minutes, okay? I
You
tried.
waited a long. You fought it for as long as possible. I agree. I agree. I think it's a strike against Harbaugh too. And I see Lamar, the nice guy, and Lamar is trying to fight the comeback for these two games, but I really want him to sit, especially if he's really injured. He says he's really injured, so I want him like he's not hurt, but he's injured. So I want him to, you know what I mean. I want him to go ahead and rest and see how this team looks without him. I want him to see. I feel bad for Cooper. He's gonna get destroyed, but that's not, it's not my problem. I think they're
This
gonna lose
team
to
is
Houston, and I think they lose to the Rams.
this team gonna look like Marilyn Manson without makeup.
I, I apparently I let this man go too long without cutting certain jokes, and now he about to just let him loose. It's officially over an hour, so it's officially, and it's past 11 on the East Coast, so it's officially YouTube after dark. Now where I let B loose to say all the wild stuff he gonna say, but it's this team
I think
needs to
that was it.
change. That's all you
Yeah,
got.
I think.
That's all you got. Okay, you sure? All
I mean,
right.
so far,
This team needs to change. The first step to showing us you care is benching number 77, which they said Emory Jones had a full practice today. So maybe in the by the bye week or after the bye week, we'll see a change at that right guard position. Maybe even a change at left guard and right guard if we're lucky. Um, because I'm not against Carson Vincent coming in because he's shown in the preseason that he's a road grader. He's not the greatest pass blocker yet, but he's going to help boost that run game. And if you get the run game going, that by proxy gives you more time in the pocket when you pass because guys will be backed off. They're not going to blitz you as much. They're not going to, line up tight, or they're going to stack the box and then, you know what I mean, look out for the run. But that's going to let Lamar dump it over the top. His receivers won't be stacked. So you'll be good to go. And that was another problem I had. Um, but I guess supposedly Tez Walker's supposedly hurt too because he only had, I think it was 9 snaps or 4 snaps in that last game. And it's like you got another young playmaker. You got to use him. You got to use DeAndre Hopkins. I understand you don't want to burn him out, but you needed
what's
a
the point
guy
of
in
having
that game.
soldiers if you ain't gonna use them?
Oh, Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. You take that dude, you let him get his one-on-one matchups where he's going to jump over the defender and snatch that ball out there. You needed that. You needed that for momentum. You needed it, and you didn't use it. You got all these weapons for nothing. Keaton Mitchell, I understand. You activate Rashid Ali over Keaton Mitchell because Rashid Ali can pass block. Rashid Ali plays all special teams. Keaton doesn't. Use somebody else. I don't care. You have a weapon and you need a weapon. Use them. I told someone in another
Figure out.
podcast that everything was okay, and he got on me miraculously. Now he's practicing another horrible. Yeah, he was trying to stash him. Well, Emory had to. So Emory Jones is an interesting issue, right? He got hurt back around draft time. So when the Ravens drafted him, he already had that torn labrum. And he had surgery 3 weeks after the draft. Now, torn labrum doesn't take as long to heal as other tears. So it's been suspected that he's been ready to practice for a while, but he wasn't allowed to because he was on IR. Now that he's allowed to practice, they're saying he's looking good. But I think Harbaugh originally wanted to stash him for next year. Problem with that is Falele's playing so bad because Harbaugh, like I don't know if you know the relationship with Falele and Harbaugh, but Falele went to a coaching clinic that Jim Harbaugh put on years ago when Falele was really young before he got to college. Um, so he met Jim Harbaugh back then, and Jim spoke very highly of him, and they followed him through his career. And lo and behold, guess who went and drafted him? John Harbaugh. Got to keep it in the family. So John went and got Lele. Yep, known him since he was 16. Yep. So John went and got him, and now I think
So he groomed him.
that's pretty much. Now I think that's that kind of personal relationship
You really let that one
is
go?
yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I told you it's YouTube after dark. I'm just gonna let it slide. So now that personal relationship is getting in the way of his coaching and sitting him and seeing that he's not ready. Because even for a guy his size, he doesn't even have the strength to fight guys off. So, and you're right, throwing the fade ball to Hopkins should be a go-to play on the goal line. Shoot, that's a go-to play from the 20. You can run Hopkins to the end zone from the 20 and toss that up and let him go get it.
Yeah,
And the
coach always
20 and
says
in.
from 20 to 20, let Bateman and the young guys do their job. But inside the 20, hey, Hop, go
Mhm.
to what you gotta do. You gotta give him that LeBron treatment. If you had LeBron James on your team right now, hey, we inside the 5, I'm gonna throw it to where the crossbar is on the field goal post. Just go up there and get it.
And it's not just him, right? Because Burke Andrews should be able to do those things. You should be able to
Like he
rely on Mark
can, like
Andrews
you
to
said.
do those things. You should be
But like
now
Andrews
Isaiah
never been a
Likely's
jump ball guy.
back.
He's never been a jump ball guy. Every time you throw him a jump ball, it's a 25-75.
Yeah, that's true. But still, he should be able to is the point I'm making. Now you got Isaiah Likely back. He's gonna be able to. What's stopping this team from you get to the goal line? You got Likely spread out wide right, D Hop spread out wide left. And then you got Mark in that tight end. You got Derrick Henry in the back with Pat Ricard at fullback. Who's stopping that offense? Nobody should be able to stop that. You got too many options. You got way too many options in that scenario. But we can't do it. Every time we get inside, it's like every time we get inside the 5, the playbook disappears. Nobody knows what to do. I know he's not, but like I said, he should. We need to be able to rely on him to do these things, but we can't. There's a reason why when they get near the air zone, if they want to rely on Mark, they do a play where they sprint out to the right and kind of throw it to him at the marker right at the goal line there. That's the only way they kind of involve him in those goal line plays is on the sprint out pass. Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying figuratively, if Lele could actually use his size, or if we had actual good offensive linemen, that should be unstoppable. And B, just so you know, BYU was up 14-0 already, just because you chose West Virginia.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll come back. Remember what you said about that Eagles game?
Yeah, that was different though. That was different because the Eagles was facing a good team. West Virginia, they sent that 2-3 for a reason.
Not the important part. Because the Ravens is 1-50 right now. So
Yeah, but I don't see the like for me. I've given up hope on Ravens this year only because I want John Harbaugh gone, and I think that's the only way it's going to happen. Um, but B picked 86 Ghosts. He picked my co-host here. He picked West Virginia to win this game against BYU, which it was outrageously crazy to me.
just
I
because I
think I
can.
think BYU is the pick all the way in that game. I can't wait to watch some more college football this weekend. Because we cover that too. We cover a little bit of, but my usual college football co-host is in here. So when he's here, me and him end up covering college football. And I do want to take a second to shout out the Aces for winning Game 1 of the WNBA Finals tonight against the Mercury. So that's big up big up to the Aces, man. It's gonna be a good series. 80, 89, 86. He said he want all his teams to fire the head coach. The Bulls, the Ravens, Florida State, and North Carolina. Listen, Florida State, I like that QB y'all picked up. That dude's got some dog in him. For him to call out, was it Bama? He called out Bama in the offseason. He said, listen, he said, y'all boys ain't what he's like, y'all ain't got Saban to fall back on. Alabama ain't what they used to be. And we gonna prove it to y'all when we play them. And we gonna beat them. And then they went out there and beat them. that dude got some dog in him. I like that QB, man. As far as North Carolina, um, you don't like Belichick? You don't like Belichick? You don't like Bill? Listen, I never from the word go, I didn't know how he was gonna do as a college head coach after, all these years being in the NFL. But man, listen. So you got I'm just saying, man, I don't Whew. And the Bulls, as far as the Bulls go, I feel like the Bulls are at a point where they're ready to rebuild. The Bulls is ready to rebuild. Hey, don't sweat it though. I'm a UConn fan because I'm from Connecticut, so I'm a UConn fan. Watching us play football most of the time hurts my eyes, man. We got some decent talent on the squad with Sky Bell, um, Cam Edwards. I like our backup quarterback. I think Nick Evers can be talented if given a shot. But Joe Fignano's been the starter. He's a senior, redshirt senior.
Wake Forest all day.
We you don't even watch college football. You just say stuff just to say it. Bro said Wake Forest all day. That was the most random team shout out you could have possibly done with Wake Forest. Oh man. Hey, listen. You don't think Tommy's the dude? We'll see. Wake Forest, he not a real Wake Forest fan, and Wake Forest don't have that. They're not built like that. They're not built like that. There's a couple of those teams out there that always kind of hover around that mid to lower tier team, and that's Wake Forest. Like you pray for them every year to pop up and surprise somebody, and they just don't. They just kind of back down.
I do got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Do y'all know what a dirty Sanchez is?
A what?
A dirty Sanchez.
I'm not answering that. That sounds like it's gonna lead to something evil.
What about a Blumpkin?
Listen, I'm gonna check out the game, and I'll tell you what. If I don't go live, I probably won't be live tomorrow, but I'll definitely he said butt fumble. Butt fumble.
Nah, Dirty Sanchez is a little bit worse. And a Blumpkin is even worse than that.
Oh God. I don't want to know. I'll tell you what.
Complete YouTube after dark.
I tell you what, if Tommy played well, I'll probably drop a short on it. I'll drop a short on that game. I got some stuff I gotta do tomorrow, so I don't know what my schedule look like. I know I got daddy duties tomorrow, so we'll see. But I'm definitely gonna be trying to keep track of the games because I follow college football every week. So I will be checking in on the game, and I'm gonna check stats. I'm gonna watch the game. I gotta see what he do Cause you like, nah, he about to be terrible. Terrible. Nah. I got faith in him. I think he's gonna be all
Look
right.
at Reg trying to sound Southern.
Oh no, that's how I always say. I always say terrible like that when I'm trying to emphasize it. Whenever I'm emphasizing that, I say terrible. You can ask the missus, she'll tell you. Terrible. It's not me trying to sound Southern. It's just, even though a lot of my family's Southern.
You trying to say Merlin all day. I've never heard it pronounced Maryland ever.
What, Maryland?
Yeah, not even. It's Merlin. Merlin. That's it. Not no
Merlin?
D. Mer and Lynn. Merlin.
I said Maryland.
Yeah. See, you said I can hear the R, the Y, and the D. It's Merlin. Like I don't know what you heard, but you know Mer from Practical Jokers and Lynn Merlin.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm from Connecticut. We just talk different, bro. I can't help it. Hey, same reason.
Yeah.
Hey, we got the same reason out in out in UConn. Same reason, and I think our quarterback. I think Joe Fignano is a 6th-year senior. So that'll let you know. That'll let
He
you
getting all
know
them little
how they
freshmen.
feel. My boy's getting all the snaps. A 6th-year
He getting them
senior,
fresh
bro.
trimmings. He in
Because
the dorm in year 6.
he had his red shirt, and then he still had. So he had his red shirt year, but then he still had eligibility from COVID-19 years. So from like 2020 and all that, when they was doing all that stuff, they gave all the college players an extra year of eligibility. So he's using it. So he's in like year 6 or 7 at UConn. Crazy work. He will not pass the torch to my boy Nick Evers to give Nick Evers a shot. And I'm not saying Evers is going to be some beast, but he's a former 4-star. I just want to see what he's got. Give him a full season under his belt. Let's see what he got. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe it's just because maybe being a UConn fan, I just got more faith in every other quarterback than ours. That could be it. Yes, absolutely. We've all seen that movie at some point. At some point, and absolutely correct. This man's never leaving college. Never leaving. He's staying forever for the rest of his life.
Nah, he like what was the old boy off of How High?
Oh man, nah, chill.
That shit on your lip got some shit on his lip.
Yeah, nah, chill. I don't know, man. I want to see. I like to try to give hope to certain teams. Like I was a big pusher of South Florida. I really thought South Florida was gonna pull out the victory over Miami when they played. And Byron Brown ain't got no. He ain't have no help. He ain't have enough help. That old line looked terrible. Miami's pass rush was crazy. And now they done dropped my boys. I think they done dropped far enough that they're not even ranked anymore. Bro, forever professional student. Bro been there forever. Forever. Joe Fignano been at UConn forever. Damn. That's tough. Yeah, but you know what? They had a chance this year, man. Like I said, I like Byron Brown, their quarterback. He can be a
Wait, we stole Willie.
But
we stole their coach and they do nothing since? Or did they fire
him? No, he got fired, I believe. And then we picked him up as our running back coach. He was fired. And they picked him up as our running back coach. But you know what?
Oh, well,
It's again, they have potential. South Florida has potential. It's like they're just missing a few pieces. If they went if they went, you say he went to Oregon. He went to Oregon and left Oregon for FSU. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so you talking about like 8 years ago?
Yeah. If if South Florida can get some offensive line players, they can be a dangerous team. I mean, but Byron Brown, problem is, this is Byron Brown's senior year. He's probably going to go to the draft. I wouldn't blame him if he did. I mean, I don't think he has a red shirt left. Maybe he does have a red shirt year left. I'm not sure. I thought he was a red shirt senior. But he's at Western is recruit when he was at FIU. So, you know, I, I want to see Byron Brown, but if he goes to the NFL, he's going to be a late round pick, and he's probably not going to get too much burn because of where he's coming out of. I think Brown graduates this year. I'm not sure if he's I gotta double check and see if he's in his redshirt year, but I think he's out of there. If he has a good enough year, he's definitely gonna go attempt to go in the draft because this draft class for quarterbacks is not a very strong one. So if you're gonna go, if he can pick it up and get his year really going, then and really kind of make his name seen, he can end up in the higher rounds just from somebody reaching to find the quarterback. Because it's that type of year. Because Nessmeyer doesn't look like the guy he's supposed to be. Yeah, Jared agrees with the quarterback situation. Nessmeyer doesn't look like the guy he's supposed to be. Arch Manning looks like what the heck is going on. Okay, yeah. So yeah, no red shirt yet. So okay. So yeah, he's got another year he could throw under his belt. I agree. That's another thing we agree on. We said that here on this channel. Me and my other co-host Jay that comes in, we agree. He's highly overrated. Um, I like the kid, but his last name is what made him overrated. His last name put more hype on him than it needed to be, and that's not really his fault. But then he
More
kind of
than
feeds it.
RG3?
Yeah, and he feeds into it a lot. Like Arch has come out or had came out earlier before the season and was like, yeah, I might throw my name in for the draft, since they talking about number 1 overall pick. But now look at him. Luckily, he's only a junior. He's got time to go. Actually, he might be a sophomore. I can't even remember what year.
Is that when his grandfather was like, sit down and shut up?
Yeah, and I didn't like Quinn Ewers, by the way. I didn't think he was a good quarterback. Just gonna put that out there. I think Quinn Ewers, just like a lot of college quarterbacks, benefited from having some very good talent around him. Top talent around him. That's just my thoughts, though. Marshawn Oxley is down for West Virginia. It looks like a leg injury, maybe cramps. Can't really tell.
He might be having a Ravens injury. Get me out of here.
But listen, you remember when I called that, right? That was going to happen. When you seen when I was in that chat that day? I said, "Up, here comes the Ravens injuries. They're about to start dropping like flies. Watch." Next thing you know, like 4 people went out. You kind of see it happening,
on the same drive.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it's about to be a beatdown. BYU about to smoke these fools without prejudice. They're gonna obliterate them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Smoke these fools.
But,
You sound like a stereotype now.
Oh, here we go.
Break yourself, fool.
Oh man, I'm sorry, but that's my movie too. It was. You can't tell me it
Name the
wasn't funny.
movie. You were a little young when that came out.
What? Ain't you like
The
2 years
movie,
older than me?
like maybe a year and a half. That's not the point.
I'm gonna watch the game, but I'm gonna watch it to see how bad they lose because I got Houston winning. So I'm gonna watch that game to see how bad we lose. Because I do think we're gonna lose. I think we lose the next two, especially if Lamar's not playing. We lose the next two. Here's the craziest thing to me. I see fans out there asking for Tyler Huntley to start over Cooper Rush. Does it really make a difference? Whether it's
Kinda.
Cooper get rushed or Tyler Huntley, does it matter? Like, which quarterback do you think gives us the best chance to win? Cooper Rush or
The
Tyler
one that
Huntley?
can at least run for his life.
So Tyler Huntley. Cooper Rush can move a little bit. Tyler obviously is better at
He
that.
can scoot. He can scoot around. Tyler can at least run for his life. He ain't Lamar, but he can run for his life.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. I agree. Stupid is trash. I don't think we're gonna win that game, man. I just don't. I don't. But I've lost my faith too, so you can't really go off of how I feel about it. But I
I'm
don't
be
think
doing. I'm be
I don't
doing
think we're winning.
I'm so confident in the loss that we about to take. I'm gonna be doing a flooring job instead of watching the game.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch. Painfully,
I'm
and
be
my
listening to
eyes
coach's
probably will
stream.
bleed.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm listening to coach's stream and just cringe on the low.
I don't think it does, man. Because again, now you got a guy that can't move back there.
With an offensive line that can't block.
With an O line, yeah, I was about to say with an O line that can't block, and I just don't see his accuracy just isn't there. Like he's not as accurate as Lamar is, and Lamar even struggles with accuracy at times. Like his deep ball has been questionable a lot this year. A lot of people won't say it because they love Lamar, and I love Lamar, but his deep ball has been partially questionable at times this year. But he's a lot more
Yeah,
accurate than Cooper Rush. I don't think Cooper's
yeah.
gonna do any better, to be honest with you.
His timing with Bateman has been terrible this year.
Yes. He is not connected with Bateman the way he did a year ago. Zay
Did
seems to
Bateman
be
fly out to
the only
Florida?
one that could get open. Now remember, I sat here and said Bateman was gonna be wide receiver one. I don't he's not looking like it now.
That's why I
Here's
think
I
we
actually
have
think
the
we can
problem.
win if we just mainly run the ball with Lamar out. But if our defense doesn't improve and play calling doesn't improve, it's not going to happen. Also with a bad O line. Well, you
That's
gotta
why
realize. Go ahead, B.
that's what I really think is a problem. I do not see our team calling the plays that they need to call. That's why that's why I said I don't see us winning because we're not going to do what we're supposed to do. What makes common sense, we're not going to do it.
So real quick, another break. We got another West Virginia player down and hurt, and this is not looking good for them. Game is 14-3, by the way, with 8:47 left in the half. Um, that's true, but I'm thinking about Monken and his playbook from having Jameis in Tampa and those non-runners in Georgia. Quick pass and mitigate the pass rush. That's true, right? But the problem with that is, right, for the quick passing, your team has to be on point. Like everybody has to know what they're doing, where they're going, and they have to be able to get open quick off the quick passing game. If you notice, these teams have been pressing us and locking our receivers down from the word go. And Monken, maybe it's because of Harbaugh, but Monken's been running a lot of these routes where they take time to develop and we can't get the ball out. And our quick passing game doesn't even look good when we try it. So I'd like to see him try to switch it up and develop a quick passing game. Maybe be able to complete a screen or two. That would help. If you could complete a screen, that would ultimately slow the pass rush down the way you need to. Right? You let them come at you, dump one over their head, you get a couple plays going, and you're good to go. But I don't think it's gonna happen because for some reason the Ravens just are not good at screenplays. No matter who the coordinator is, who the players are, anything, we don't do screenplays well.
I mean,
Colorado
we
explains
refuse to
our
try.
run defense. Arizona State or Iowa State should best them. Um, yes, but West Virginia won't. And West Virginia is doing a pretty good job running against them too, with their quarterbacks. So we'll see. And it looks like they just got a turnover too. Actually, um, interception, beautiful play too. He like hid behind another one of the offensive linemen and popped out for that interception. Great play by West Virginia. Get that interception and put your team back in this game.
Is that signs of life?
I think that's true too. That's true too. They do call certain plays to make because Lamar can make the offensive line look good. Because this is an O line that they said was a Pro Bowl level offensive line last year. Matter of fact, they put Faalele in the Pro Bowl last year. So that is 100% correct. I agree on that.
Well,
Keaton on the
you
screen is
remember
here. Keaton's not going to play, though.
you remember
Harbaugh
under
keeps
Roman, we
making him.
found they called different plays also for different QBs. They would call the nice
Yep.
developing short, quick joints for Snoop, and then for Lamar, it'd be all these crazy plays that don't make any sense that that he never called with Lamar. He would call all them for Huntley, and then Lamar would come back and he changed his play calling.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Keaton's not going to play. Unless Justice or somebody's hurt, Keaton's not going to play. He's technically in Harbaugh's doghouse because he can't block and because he doesn't play all special teams. Whereas Rasheen Ali, he could block a little bit and he plays all special teams. Harbaugh prefers him. Harbaugh's a special teams guy, so he prefers him over Keaton, which is stupid to me because you got a weapon and he doesn't want to keep 4 running backs. So you got a weapon. I say use them. But if Lamar's going to be out and Tez is going to be, I think Tez is going to be out. They said Tez is hurting. If you're going to have a few guys out, go ahead and slide Keaton in there and run 4 running backs. You're going to have to at some point. Says he thinks Arizona State beats him by double digits, and that is entirely possible. Yeah, and Harbaugh getting rid of his ego is like, yeah, that's asking a lot. That's like me asking my cat to grow wings and fly to the store and grab me something to eat. It's one of those things that's probably not gonna happen. You can be almost 100% sure that John Harbaugh is not gonna chuck his ego to the side for anybody or anything. But Keaton, I like Keaton too, man. Very explosive player. He brings something different to the table, even than Justice Hill. I think Hill has some explosion, but they're slightly different. You know what I mean? They bring 2 different things to the field, and you can use those guys together. You can use them with Derrick Henry. Can you imagine a a
Triple
setup
option with both of
where
those.
you got a triple option setup where you got us back in a shotgun. You got Keaton to the left and Derrick Henry to the right. And
Can't block, bro. We might as well go with home.
People ain't gonna know what to do. People wouldn't know what to do with that type of setup. Yes, highly overrated. And you're right. If it wasn't for the mutiny, he wouldn't have a ring. Baltimore would still have only 1 Super Bowl under their belt. If it wasn't for the mutiny, if it wasn't for Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Anquan Bolden, and all those guys stepping up to the head coach.
Purple Patrol members like Rage.
Oh, you tripping? You know I'm not Purple Patrol, bro. The weaponry we have. Think about this, right? Us as fans are sitting here thinking of ways we could scheme this team up to be dangerous, but the head coach can't think of that, let alone do it.
The head coach don't
This
want to think of that. That's the problem.
the same head coach that in the playoffs last year ran a pass play to Ronnie Stanley, and his excuse for it was, listen, if you want to run, I think they know we're going to run Derrick Henry. So if you want to run Derrick Henry 4 times right at him, then you go ahead. But that wasn't my play call. Okay, coach. Now we're going home. Thanks for your play call. Very, very wrong with it. And then throw in the factor, if you look at this defense, and I've been saying this over and over again, go back and watch Trenton Simpson's college tape. As a junior, he went off. You know what he did as a junior? He played a little bit of safety. He played slot, and he rushed off the edge. And he was one of the top defensive players in college. Fast forward to his senior year, he gets a different defensive coordinator. That defensive coordinator slots him in as a will linebacker. And his stats drop off tremendously from the year before. We draft him. We look at his tape and we go, you know what? You'll make a great Mike or Will linebacker instead of moving him to outside linebacker or edge rusher where he was best at and making him a third safety or a slot guy. Why would you not use a man to his strengths? He's better in coverage. You could stick him in man-to-man coverage, and he'll stick with any tight end and most receivers because he's got 4.3 speed. So that wouldn't be an issue. You can do that with Trenton, and it wouldn't be an issue. You can stick him at edge and say, "Go get the quarterback," and he's gonna do that. It wouldn't be an issue. But instead, what you're doing is you're sticking him in at middle linebacker and saying, "Play slow, fill the gap." It's not what he does. It's not what he does. It's not what he's good at. And it takes a real head coach to see that, and they don't see it. And they're losing out on a true talent with Trenton Simpson.
So I'm gonna have to. I have to because I've been waiting. Watching this Kyron Lacey video, like, and I was driving, so I was somewhat not fully losing my mind because I had to focus on driving, but I'm always for protecting children.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, facing a situation like that at still a young age, there's no way especially somebody who's caring, as they said he was,
Mm-hmm.
to think that you have thought that you killed somebody and to see the state trooper trying to tell one black guy who's telling the state trooper that the lady caused the accident. I need you to put this on this paper so that we can go find this charger and arrest this guy. When he's clearly telling you that charger didn't have anything to do with the accident. It was the lady.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if I'm the family, even if a lawyer says you probably can't win this because it was just whatever, I'm pursuing a wrongful death lawsuit just because everybody needs to see what your state trooper said to basically frame my child as some crazy driving, because he has a charger, he's crazy, and I'm driving a charger. So I'm sitting here like, so basically if something happens, I can assume I get blamed just to have a charger.
Because that's pretty much what you did. You blamed him because he had a charger.
A young black man with a charger at that. But yeah, when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw that tape come out about how the state troopers were wrong and he had nothing to do with that accident, it almost brought tears to my eyes. Young man takes his life because guilt. He's guilt ridden over the fact that you believe he took someone's life, and you made him so much so you made him believe he took that person's life.
Made him even believe it was possible. Just the possibility was probably enough to make him like, nah, I couldn't have done that. Well, the lady says you did this, and you know what? The DA has found enough information to feel like they could charge you with something.
And at that point, he's thinking, I'm going to serve life in prison.
And the thing is, look at the position his family was put in, because he was in the situation he was put in. He has a gun in his hand and shoots the ground like, if you give me my keys and let me go end this my way, or I'm just going to do it in front of you. So now the people who had to say it's either I have to risk him shooting himself here, or give him his keys and try to and call the cops and hope they can find him before he does what he does.
Yeah.
Like you set off a chain of events. It's almost like one of them crime scene dramas where, I mean, I don't know if you watch Chicago PD.
I've seen it.
Voight walks in. Look here, man. This is gonna go one or two ways. You're gonna do what you got to do so that I can get my warrant, so I can find who I need to find, or you gonna hold us up, and then if I'm right about who it was, I'm gonna make your life hell. Because that state trooper, hey, you, and don't forget to put in your report, you had to slam your brakes for XYZ. He said, man, I was doing 30 miles an hour. I didn't need to slam my brakes for nothing. My tires never skidded. The lady behind me, her tire skid, and she went into oncoming traffic and caused an accident. And the Charger cut through and didn't touch nobody.
Yeah. And you know it's crazy? Looking at that tape to see he was nowhere near them when they got into the accident. He was 70. What was it, 76 or 76 yards behind them?
Yards away.
Behind the person. Not even in front of them. He's 76 yards behind them when they got into the accident. And he was in his proper lane and everything. Meaning he had zero effect whatsoever on what happened with that vehicle in that accident. But from what y'all said to him, y'all pinned it on him. And he knew there was no way out of it at that point in time. That's what he thought, at least. And now a young, talented, kind young gentleman is gone for nothing.
On top of the gentleman who died in the actual accident.
Yes.
Guy died in the accident. And now this young man's killed himself thinking he's responsible for killing the guy. And he had nothing to do with anything.
Something has to be done about it. And here's the sad part. No matter what you do about it, it doesn't bring them back.
It don't bring either one of them back.
You can't fix it.
And the data was on they used the data from the lady's car's black box to show she was basically tailgating the guy and slammed on the brakes at the last moment while she had Funyuns in her lap eating food. But then she tried to pin it on Kyron just because you don't want to take accountability.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a heartbreaker.
Accountability is woman night, not kryptonite, woman night.
That's a tough one. I tried to almost tried to avoid talking about it because of how much it bothered me. but it does need to be said. So I am glad you brought it up. Um, they need to be held accountable, and
She needs to be that. It's another case of somebody giving a false report leading to somebody else's injury or death, or it's it's negligence at the very minimum to sit there and say, oh yeah, because I slammed the brakes and then this guy did this, and because he was coming at me so fast, I had to jump over, and that's how I ended up hitting this other guy. Like, yeah, be accountable.
yeah, it's and now again, you guilt ridden this young man so badly that he took his own life, and it's heartbreaking as it gets. LSU star wide receiver, definitely a what would you say, top 15 pick?
There
Um,
was at least three teams that, from what the lawyer said, there were three teams that were interested that actually contacted him about what was going on, and two of them were in the top 15. I know he
yes,
said the Saints, Jacksonville, and I forgot what the third team was.
I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina
They
was
said
one.
possibly. I think they said Minnesota was one.
Yeah, kid has so much potential, and like you said, from what they were saying, he's a good kid, good heart. Um, and you wish nothing but the best for somebody like that, and for this to happen, you know, it's just different. Got rid of my charger because I was constantly getting pulled over. In one incident, if I didn't have a cop as a friend, I could have been shot. And that's the thing, right? When you start stereotyping people based off of a vehicle, a type of vehicle, you're already failing at your job.
Oh well, then all the Nissans is going to be in problems because Nissan drivers be terrible.
That's facts too. But
Versa be doing 150 on the beltway somehow.
but still, I mean, just because you see there is ignorant people who get out there and they're doing donuts in their Chargers or their Mustangs, and doesn't mean you have to stereotype every single one you see. Just because they got all the videos of cops getting burnt and left behind because they didn't pull over a scat pack or a Hellcat and then they can't catch them once they get going again, doesn't mean every single one is going to do that. So you can't automatically assume someone's guilty of something. Again, the court says innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and the thing is, they said he caused the accident, but not by hitting anybody. So, like, she tried to make it seem like he caused the accident, but he didn't hit
She tried to
anybody,
make
but
it
he
seem like,
caused the accident.
yeah, she
So
tried to
even
make
though
it
there was
seem like
no
he swerved.
damage,
He caused her to swerve off the road, off of her
right? Even
side of
though
the
there
road.
was no damage to his vehicle, she tried to make it seem like it was his fault anyways. So it's like you trying to prove, well, I wasn't in the accident. Yeah, but you swerved and it made somebody else swerve and that caused the accident. And it's the craziest thing because, again, I ride a motorcycle. If you are in your lane and you swerve and you don't actually come all the way into my lane and I crash, I get a ticket for failure to maintain control.
Yeah,
But if you're in a car and I'm speeding and I make you swerve, I get involuntary manslaughter if you actually hit somebody and kill somebody.
yeah. It's
So
it's a
it depends on the cop who pulls up and writes a ticket. And they wrote her a ticket and then rescinded the ticket.
of course, because she blamed the young black man in the green Charger. Funny thing is, before the accident, before the accident, he was 96 yards behind her, almost a whole football field length behind her. Then she gets in the accident. He slows down. He's at 76 yards behind her. And at this point, she's already in the accident.
And he just slides through the open space after
And
they've already had the
that's
accident.
exactly what happened. He moved over far to the right and went around him. And she goes, I'm going to blame him. He didn't stop to see if I was okay. Maybe that was it. So I'm going to blame him.
Because he was on his way to practice.
Or his car was the most memorable. So I'm going to blame him.
He
Or
was
maybe
on the
she
way to
drove
practice.
by him. It could be that she was behind him and he wouldn't move out of her way. And she went around him and got pissed
He
off that
wasn't.
he wouldn't move. It could be anything.
Yeah, but he wasn't. She said basically she hadn't seen the car before the accident, so she basically made it clear in her statement she hadn't seen him before this whole situation. So she didn't talk to the officer like, oh, well, I saw him a couple miles ago, this and the third. Her only reference to his car is with the accident. So she didn't make it as, oh, it was an ongoing traffic situation where he did this and it was not. I was driving with my thing and the truck in front of me hit the brakes. So I hit the brakes and I looked up and he was still coming so fast. So I swerved, but then I get the black box and realize she was this close and she only hit the brakes a half second after the guy in front of her hit the brakes. Nobody else had a skid mark. Nobody else swerved.
No, but she
Nothing.
had made, if you go back and listen, she had made it seem like he was driving erratically.
Yeah, she was saying he was driving directly behind her, but not like she was ever in front of him. Because this is I think it was like a one way. One lane goes this way, one lane goes that way, pretty much situation. So when she swerved in the traffic, like when she swerved out of her lane, she was automatically already in ongoing traffic. I mean, in head-on traffic.
Yeah, but she mentioned something. She had to have mentioned something where she said he was out of lane because they specifically
Yeah,
kept saying
he went
he
around
was
four
in his
cars
appropriate lane.
before that. Yeah, he went around four cars before that, but they were saying he went around the four cars, but he had reestablished himself back in his lane at
Yep.
least 300 feet before she got into the accident. So yeah, he went
Yeah.
around a couple cars, but he was back in his lane and full control almost a whole football field before she ran into the back of that truck.
Yeah.
And when she ran into the back of the truck, he was still 74 yards back, 72.6 yards or 76.2 yards back from where they were when they got to the accident. So yeah, she saw him go around the other cars. Yes, that happened, but that was 300 feet. He'd been back in his lane for 300 feet before she got into the accident with the other vehicle,
Yep.
and he was still 76 plus yards behind that accident. So that accident happened, and he had time to slow up to a decent speed to say, okay, I can shoot this gap right here and nobody be in danger and go around the accident. So he ran around
Yeah.
the cars. He had the 300 feet that he was back in his lane. And then when she hit the guy, he was still 76 yards behind the accident that they already had.
Yeah. Either way, it's yes, they have. And
Until
it
it hits
has
their pockets or it takes their freedom, they're going to keep doing it. And if I was them, I would be suing
exactly.
the state trooper, and I would be suing her ass for defamation of character because her testimony of this is what happened in the report is what led to him getting persecuted publicly and feeling the way that he felt.
And even worse, as an officer at that point, what makes you think that this woman isn't concussed? What makes you
Well,
think that
the
she's you know what I'm
and the guy
saying?
was saying, the guy was also saying the cop didn't ask for any questions for clarity. Well, there were recordings of what happened in the area that
There was
showed
plenty of
everything.
recording that showed clear as
Right.
day. But before they could even get the recordings, the state trooper's office made this claim up. Now it's
And
the
that's what
investigators now that got the tapes, and they came up with what really happened. and now they're comparing to what the state trooper said, and nothing matches.
Well, there's the troopers. There was the troopers doing what they were doing,
Investigation.
and
Yeah.
then the parish, I guess they call it a parish down there. The parish of the DA's office did their own investigation, and the DA's office investigation found the troopers' investigation was faulty.
Yes.
So, but the troopers' investigation is what was put out to everybody. And the trooper already had his bias. When she said this is what happened, the trooper didn't ask any more questions, trying to
Nope. He had his
ascertain
mind made
any
up.
more detail to what actually happened. He didn't ask her any detailed questions. He didn't ask follow-up questions to the question. She answered the question. He didn't answer a follow-up question. He even, so it is Parishes. He even gave her advice on how to write her statement.
Yeah, because he
Like,
had
look
his
here,
mind
baby.
made up.
We gonna get you. Yeah, look here, baby. We're gonna get you out of this. Don't worry. You gonna say this. Make sure you put this in, and then that way XYZ's covered. And then he went to the other guy, and he says, "Hey, make sure you put in that you had to slam your brakes to avoid XYZ." And the other guy was like, "I didn't slam my brakes." And even when the guy tried to, I guess I don't know what the state trooper wrote as I guess you would call it the eyewitness statement, but it was rejected. Like it was refused because apparently it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they were only 48 hours from going to the grand jury with all the information. But at that point, he was so guilt ridden that he couldn't go any longer. So he was just like, "Look,
Guilt
I
and
got my
fear.
gun. Right, I got my gun. Either you gonna give me my keys to my car and let me go about my way, or I'll blow my brains out right here." And I like to say,
Guilt
"Nah,
and
I
fear.
ain't giving up the keys." But depending on how serious he was, maybe you got a couple more minutes. I mean, if it's my brother, I'm like, "All right, yeah, you can get these keys." And I'm gonna have to wrestle him for that gun. If I get shot, I get shot, but I'm gonna have to try.
Give him the keys and then jump on him as soon as he turns his back. Right. That's my
Basically,
mentality. That's my mentality.
basically, yeah, we gonna hold you down somehow. Let's hold you down, slow you down, whatever we got to do.
Yeah. Give him the keys. As soon as he turns around, jump on his back. Put your finger, slide your finger in the slide behind the trigger, so you can't pull the trigger. Um, that's your kind of your best bet there. Try to fight that thing out of his hand, and then drop the clip out of it, and find a way to get that last bullet out of the chamber. But it's I mean, the cops are so many have power, and they use their power the wrong way. Um,
Their interpretation is the law, pretty much.
Pretty much, and I've had situations where I've been pulled over and I probably shouldn't have been. Actually, I know I shouldn't have been. Um, One town they pulled me over and didn't know why they pulled me over and made up a reason on the spot. So these things happen. It's never going to change. And it was all because I was in a brand new truck. I was in a brand new Durango, 2018 Durango at the time, brand new, um, fresh off the lot, because you know that's how your boy did it back then. Blacked out. It was like, oh yeah, we got to pull this guy over. And I was just happy to be in a neighborhood, a town, small town, primarily Caucasian. And they figured I was on the wrong side of town, but I was just coming from a job, heading home. That was it. They ended
So
up having to let me go.
you was happy to be on the white side of town? Is that what you're saying?
Man, I wasn't happy to be there, but I was there. I'll tell you that.
You said I was happy to be in the neighborhood. I said, "Okay, Mr. Rogers."
No, I wasn't happy to be there. I'll tell you that. It was a 3 hour drive home, so no, there's nothing happy about it. I promise you that one. Nothing happy about it. See, that's
Stock and
crazy.
frisk in the country is wild.
That's crazy.
Who's close enough for you to hurt?
That's crazy. That's crazy. He said, "Who's close enough for you to hurt?" That's crazy. Listen, y'all, we're gonna end it on that note. I know my boy B gotta get up, do some work tomorrow. I got a bunch of errands to run tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. If y'all been in here, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share. You know, tell a friend. Come on back over again. We're gonna have a good time. Have some more good conversation. Let me throw this up here real quick because I got pulled over to storm in the dark. Couldn't see in front of me. There was no turn on red sign. I didn't see it. Just threw it out though, as if it was raining. Like, yeah. It's sometimes they just lack this common sense, or they want to get you so bad that common sense goes out the window. There you go. Went by, knew they was gonna circle back. You know what I'm saying? They do stuff to fuck with you on purpose. Excuse my language, but they do. Jay, salute. Hopefully you'll be here with us next week, Jay. Missed you tonight, buddy. Yes, sir. You take care as well. Oh, y'all take care. Have yourselves a blessed night.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do have one ending note that I'm gonna have to
Check out 86 Ghost. He also has a channel. Go ahead.
and a website. But furthermore,
And a website.
I think a Big Reg and B More show would slap.
Appreciate you. You said a Big Reg and what?
The B More show.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to talk about at a later point.
2 non-Baltimore people who have a Ravens show. I feel like he's in Carolina.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. Well, yeah, no. That's a legit question.
We're gonna get that at the same time we get the D Weezy and Chris show.
And he fires it back right at you.
It's over 2 hours. It's YouTube after dark. Anybody can take this L.
It is YouTube after dark at this point. YouTube.
You know what? What they call it? A quad show, a four-way, a fatal four-way show.
I mean,
Reggie be the moderator.
I'm definitely down for it. Well, it's not a profile anymore. My boy done been snatched up off the market. Partially.
Oh, I mean, look, it ain't about the profile because your dating profile got you as the king chef. And if it's YouTube after dark and them thighs kind of spark, I heard you was a head chef.
All right, so we're gonna get up out of here on that note. Y'all have a blessed night. Y'all have a blessed night. We'll probably catch you hopefully Monday night to go over our weekend recap of the games from Sunday and maybe some college football if I could get Jay in here as well. But y'all stay blessed. Enjoy some weekend football, some rest, relaxation.
Some loose what?
We get back.
Some loose food.
Huh?
Some loose food.
Some loose booty. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend. Thank y'all for coming through. We love y'all. All right. Stay blessed. Peace.